Marlins POSTCAST. Part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Fish fans? Welcome to another edition of your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. My name's Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, at Jim Grease _, at Cageside Grease on social media. So pumped to have you with me day in and day out here on the show. You everydayers know it's hard to get this team looking shiny tonight. The lights are not so great, and tonight they're a little brighter. But man, oh man, this team, you got to get to know them now, right? And the 10 players traded, and here we are, Marlins fans, and we are in that part of the season known as the dead zone. And when your team is 40-69, ooh, it's Undertaker dead. You know what I'm saying? 3 runs for the Braves in the first inning today, 3 home runs, 4 runs off Max Meyer in 5 innings, 7 strikeouts for him, but 3 home runs, 4 runs for the Braves. They've hit 20 home runs in their last 6 games, which is a third of their home runs on the season. It's absurd what the Braves are doing. Absolutely absurd. I mean, Arcia hit one, of course, Riley hit one, and then Matt Olson had the big game with a 2-run shot. And all that happened with Max Meyer gave up the 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning on 2 homers. So it was just one of those days. You get the ball up in the air. It was carrying. None of them were just racked. They were just kind of high fly balls that kept on carrying. Anyway, I want to get it going for you today and let you know that we are so happy, and thank you very much for making Locked On Marlins POSTCAST a part of your day every day. We're free, available wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube, part of Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day, and today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. What time is it? Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Don't they always? All right, here we go. Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Soler with the Braves now. Man, like you're looking at the Marlins with the 10 trades plus Soler there. You know, last year was Soler, and then Alcantara's hurt, and all the trades. And you look at Jazz Chisholm hitting homer after homer against the Phillies for the beating up on the Phillies, which, by the way, getting the Braves closer. They're within 6 of the Phils now, but Jazz Chisholm having a blast in New York. His personality made for New York. Derek Jeter wanted him specifically, went out and got him. He was his guy. Now he's a Yankee. So he's tearing it up. And then, you know, you had Josh Bell, who was hot. He's now with the D-backs. And obviously Tanner Scott with the Padres. We'll give you an update on some of the former Marlins day by day as we go here with the show. But 4-2, they lose today to the Braves. And look, they're 1-6 against the Braves this season. They won 1 game, and that was on April the 13th. But the Braves have scored, get this, in their wins against the Marlins this season, 33 runs in 6 games. 33. Dang. They got shut out twice in that stretch. They just don't play well against the Braves, and they haven't this year, obviously, and that's just something. No extra base hits today. Max Meyer's good, man. Max Meyer's good, and Cabrera and Munoz been pitching well. These guys need to learn how to consistently win in the big leagues, and I think they will at some point, but it's just a tough time right now. A lot of trades, a lot of guys gone, a lot of things that haven't gone your way for the Marlins this year. And, you know, Jake Berger's balling out right now. He was 2 for 3 tonight. Xavier Edwards, they're all right with the leadoff man there. Jesus Sanchez in a 3-hole. Jonah Bride's their cleanup guy now, 2nd night in a row. And obviously they got the new guys in Stowers and Wall and Hensley playing tonight, and Ramirez and Soriano coming in out of the bullpen. And just when you thought you had yourself a squad, just like you thought you had yourself a team moving forward, and they are completely gone. Completely gone. And you know what? It's crazy. Really crazy. Because this team really had something for the future, right? I mean, you talk about the pitching staff with 11 injuries this year on the IL, and you're talking about Alcantara coming back, and you got Meyer, and you got Munoz, and you got Cabrera, and then you got Weathers and Luzardo, who are both on the IL. Even the way this team's constructed now, it'll be all right. But without Bell, without Chisholm, without Tanner Scott especially, it's going to be tough. I mean, Edwards 1 for 3, Berger 2 for 3 tonight. They got 6 hits, no extra base hits. Charlie Morton looked good tonight for the Bravos. Charlie Morton with, I mean, he's going to get to 2,000 strikeouts. He had 6 more tonight. I mean, Charlie Morton, he sounds like an accountant or a bowler, doesn't he? Not a pitcher. Anyway, the Braves just hitting homer after homer. They've been great lately. They've been doing all kinds of things in those standings, getting closer to the Phils. It's crazy when you think about where the Braves usually, the Phils don't, the Phillies started so hot this year. They built such a big lead over the Braves. They developed such a big lead over the Braves. They were able to build such a big lead over Atlanta early on. And that lead was like 9.5 early in the season. Now it's at 6. The Mets are only 8 games out. Can you believe the Mets? The New York Mets, since the end of May, have been on fire. They've been the team that people thought they were going to be earlier in the year. They were like literally below the Nationals. And at one point in time, you remember when the Marlins had those road trips to New York and to Washington, and I remember telling you before that trip that they are doing well on these 2 trips. If they do well on these trips, then they will be able to get back in the race because they were playing the Mets and the Nats. It didn't happen. The Mets caught fire. They're only 2 games behind the Braves and 8 games behind the Phils. All of a sudden, we have a race in the National League East. The Central, not really, with Milwaukee 5.5. Still, though, Phillies, Brewers, Padres 4.5 behind the Dodgers, man. 4.5 behind the Dodgers. They won the season series against the Dodgers for the first time in God knows how long. That's going to be interesting with Tanner Scott. Let me take a peek over here and just see what Tanner Scott has done. Has he pitched yet for these guys since he... Here we go. Yo. So what's this scenario? All right, they beat the Dodgers 8-1, and then they beat them 6-5. So let me see. They play tomorrow. I love you, tomorrow. Let's see. Did you see Ohtani argue with the ump last night? That was funny. Shohei, you never really see him arguing with the umps, and he did it. Where are we at here? The Dodgers of Los Angeles. Let's see. That would be, where are we at here? Aha. Okay, they play the A's tomorrow. Okay, so they roughed up Kershaw is what they did yesterday. Clayton Kershaw, first time he's ever started a game and not had a strikeout. Unbelievable. So Arise is hitting 308 for the Padres. And, Tanner Scott, he didn't get in that game. I don't think he's gotten into a game yet for the Dodgers. Let me see. If it did, it had been 2 games ago, and I don't think he was there yet. I mean, for the Padres, rather. Tanner Scott for the Padres. I don't think he's gotten in a game yet. Let's see. Here we go. Yo. Box score. Tanner Scott, and obviously he's the all-star for the Marlins, and it was a big, big trade for them. And, no, he has not pitched a game for them yet. And the Padres beat Glasnow the other day, too. Pretty awesome what they're doing right now. Arise and Tanner Scott and Hoying, they raided the Marlins coverage, that's for sure. Soler 0 for 3, back with the Braves, of course, was there before the Marlins. 2 for 4 for Ozuna, 2 RBIs for Olson. Just another Marlins game, like swinging at too many first pitches, balls out of the zone, no plate discipline. You know what I'm saying? Just not getting the job done. And that happens, Austin Riley, Matt Olson homers in the first inning. And it just wasn't a good day for your Miami Marlins. Charlie Morton goes to 6-6 on the season. Just 1 run on 5 hits in 6 innings. 6 strikeouts, 2 walks for Morton. Unearned run in the 5th is all the Marlins got. Osuna's 2 for 4 with a run. Soler, of course, was the MVP of the 2021 World Series for the Braves. Berger 2 for 3. Luke Jackson came on for the Braves. Gave a 1 run scoring single to Berger. Max Meyer with the home runs allowed tonight, 5 innings. The Braves are 16-4 in their last 20 home games against Miami, 4-0 this season. And no other news like transactions or anything like that. This one was, the Braves were minus 200. The over-under was 8.5. So the under came in. And if you had the Braves, game time was only 2:19. Crazy how fast these games are with the new rules. Crazy. You are watching Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease the Dog. Days of summer. Look at the look on Skip Schumacher's face. What are you giving me to work with here? Bendix, what is going on? What is this team? Who are these guys? Skip Schumacher. Look at his face. Man. Look at him. He just, the injuries, 11 pitchers to the IL, and then Arcia and Chisholm, and look what Jazz is doing in New York, and Bell, and of course everybody gets better when they leave a toxic environment, and yeah, just one of those tough calls. Why is this not showing? There we go. All right. For some reason, that thing has been in and out tonight. I don't know why. All right, there we go. Got it. Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries. So, look, Arcia, Hoying, and Tanner Scott with the Padres. Bell with the Diamondbacks. The Orioles got Rogers. The Pirates got De La Cruz. I mean, just contenders getting fat off the Marlins. 10 players traded. Padres got 3 of them. And look at the Padres sitting right behind the Dodgers now. Right there. Tanner Scott, oh, that bullpen's fortified. They have the best bullpen in baseball now. Machado's on a tear. Arcia is the best hitter. I mean, why don't we do Locked On Marlins who got traded? How about that? How about Locked On Traded Marlins? How about we do that? Locked On Traded Marlins. Locked On Fire Sale. How about we do Locked On Fire Sale? You think that would be a good show? I think if we did Locked On Fire Sale with the 10 Marlins and followed Arcia and Hoying and Scott with the Padres and Bell and Puck with the D-backs and Chisholm with the Yankees. You know what I'm saying? DLC with the Pirates. Rogers with the Orioles. Come on, man. Why not? Luzardo would have been gone. Weathers probably too had they stayed healthy and not been on the IL. They'd probably be gone too. Josh Bell got hot just in time to get traded, and he was a year-to-year trade deadline. They took him back as part of a deal anyway. It wasn't really like they wanted him, but it was dead weight that they took from Cleveland, and you know how that goes. But Jazz and Tanner Scott, I felt like should have been untouchable. I felt like Jazz Chisholm, Tanner Scott, and Luis Arcia, I felt like those 3 guys should have been untouchable. You want to trade every other one of those players? Do it. Get rid of them all. I don't care. That's fine. But you don't trade cornerstones. You don't trade Jazz Chisholm. You don't trade Luis Arcia, and you don't trade Tanner Scott. I know he's leaving at the end of the season, supposedly, but you could have made an effort to resell. They weren't going to do it. Am I kidding? Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries. When we come back on the other side, petrified wood. What in the world could that mean? It means their bats are afraid of the ball. I'm going to tell you what's wrong with the Marlins hitting. Well, I'm going to try. I mean, I'm no major league hitting coach, but I will say this. It has a lot to do with impetuous approach at the plate. It has a lot to do with a lack of plate discipline. You're watching Locked On Marlins postcast. Going to get into that on the other side. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries. 4-2 Braves win the opener tonight in Hotlanta. And I get a chance to talk about one of the new sponsors here on the network, and this product is dope. D-O-P-E. You know, you guys love to eat cold treats, right? We all do. It's the summertime, and we all love cold treats. Do you go for the ice cream, the helmet at the ballpark, right? Maybe the cracked-out popsicles, right? You got to love the cracked-out popsicles in your home. You just sit there munching down those popsicles. It's the summertime. When you're taking in America's pastime, I have a new option that I want to talk about with you right now. Don't forget to hydrate with Liquid IV's Popsicle Firecracker flavor, a surefire summer hit. Popsicle Firecracker, think about that. In the summer, get hydrated with electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. Because baseball and summer go together like Liquid IV and indulgent hydration. And what's better than indulgent hydrations, right? I mean, you love to drink Liquid IV the second you get your hands on it. It's incredible. It's easy. It's convenient. You tear it, you pour it, you enjoy it. The favorite flavors are all there. You name it, they're there for you. The benefits are incredible. You stay hydrated while you're traveling. Summer festivals, a night out, you're sweating all day long. You need more. You're just constantly chugging water, peeing all day. No. No, Liquid IV is a better option than that. I mean, Popsicle Firecracker, the festive blend, citrus-fueled lemon, lime, tart cherry, raspberry flavors, all of them in there, just tingling those taste buds. Find all your favorite flavors on their website, acai berry, lemon lime. If you like pina coladas, they're there too, right? More than just a drink. It's a science-backed way to hydrate better. Tear, pour, live more. One stick plus 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. It's powered by an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients to turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. No more thirsty summers. When you indulge in hydration with Liquid IV, get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MLB at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. There it is. Tonight's show also brought to you by SupplyHouse.com. A little bit of trouble tonight with the clicks are just a little slow. You click on it, takes like 4 seconds to load. You know what I'm saying? It's the atmospheric pressure, I think, or something with the humidity. I don't know. Something with the weather. Cell phones, GPS, all kinds of stuff gets crazy. But you know it's not crazy? SupplyHouse.com when you're a skilled tradesman, because you can get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades, SupplyHouse.com. And wait till you tell you what else I offer you in just a second. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Easy peasy. Get expert support, industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the biz, and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free TradeMaster program. That's right, every TradeMaster, every single one of you, gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. So, what are you going to do? You're going to join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at SupplyHouse.com/T-M and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at SupplyHouse.com. There we go. All right, are you watching Fox Sports or ESPN on your TV all day? Have to turn down the volume with all that shouting. You just need a hug, maybe. Someone to cuddle you. Spoon, maybe. Make the switch to Locked On Sports today, a free 24/7 sports streaming channel program for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming. And who needs that? Come on, you already have the attention. What do you need to scream for? All right, Locked On Sports today brings you can't-miss analysis, opinions, and news streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the Free Fire TV channels app on Amazon, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. I kind of like the slow jazz voice. Don't say jazz. Don't say jazz. And all that jazz Chisholm's gone. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's heartbreaking, actually. You know, Jazz Chisholm was starting to really ball out, and Josh Bell was raking. Tanner Scott was the best closer in baseball and had been pitching so well. And, I mean, I feel like these guys were playing their way out. They were playing because they knew they were going. You know, nobody wants to leave Miami. In the summer maybe, but nobody wants to leave Miami. Come on, for real? Who wants to leave Miami? You leave Miami, I mean, it's all right. You go to San Diego. That's cool. But Josh Bell, A.J. Puck, you leave Miami to go to the Arizona desert in the summer? No, thank you. Nope. How about, How about going to Pittsburgh? DLC? No. Nope. Baltimore? Nah, not terrible. Not bad. New York Yankees. Oh, man. Imagine getting traded to the Yankees if you're Jazz Chisholm. I mean, you can see it all over his face. You can see it in his body language. This dude is having the time of his life. He got the biggest get-out-of-jail-free card that anyone's ever gotten in their lives, it feels like. And little did you know, Derek Jeter, the captain, you were getting him for the Yanks. When you brought him to the Marlins, you were getting him from the Yanks. I do like what I see from Max Meyer, though, guys. I want to talk about that on the other side when we wrap up the show. I want to talk about Max Meyer and Cabrera and Munoz and these guys that, you know what? I mean, with Weathers and Luzardo coming back, yeah, it's going to be fun, huh? Interesting. I still think this team, with some moves in the offseason, can get pretty good again next year, but with the rotation that they had coming back and with these, there's no sense crying over spilled milk anymore, is there? I don't really think there is, but, the Braves win 4-2, maxed out. 4 runs on 3 homers in 5 innings, 3-0 by the end of the first. 2 homers in the first. Ball carried today. His curve wasn't biting, though. His curve usually bites down, and the breaking stuff usually bites down. And when you're able to lift his breaking stuff, it just doesn't have the bite. When you're able to easily lift it, it doesn't have the bite. It's supposed to bite down low so that you're topping it into the ground. Burger's joint, he's on fire. 2 hits tonight. New Jacks swing. That means the new players played for Miami. Stars in left field, Hensley, Wall, Ramirez and Soriano out of the bullpen, both scoreless. I think Soriano can be pretty good for the Marlins. 11 games this year. It'll be interesting. 2 scoreless innings tonight. Meyer, Munoz, Cabrera, Tyler, probably going to be the starters right now. Man, it's crazy. Just can't, you just can't ever really get to know and follow this team. You just can't do it. They made the playoffs last year, got some extra. Just make the guy sell the team. You know what I'm saying? Make the guy sell the team. Really, or move the team or something. It's too much. It's just too much year in and year out. And I don't know. I don't like to be negative, but it's just a tough one. And the Marlins with another tough one tonight. But day in and day out, they compete, they hustle. I'm going to keep it positive. We're going to have some fun. When we come back on the other side, Locked On Marlins postcast, wrapping it up on your Thursday heading into the weekend. 3 more games in the ATL. Man, that'd be a nice trip to take, right? Booking.com, game time for the tickets in the ATL. Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. One more break to go. Coming back. Wrap it up on the other side. Take a look at the rest of this series. God help us. Look at the look on Skip Schumacher's face. What can the Marlins do to start playing better? Remember, they have not lost a series since the All-Star break. They split with the Mets. They beat the Orioles. They beat the Brewers. 2 first-place teams. The Mets are one of the hottest teams in baseball. And then after that, they split again with the Rays, a 2-game series against a team that had beaten them 23 out of 26 times. So they had been playing very well. No one was hotter than the Mets when they played them. The Orioles, Brewers, first-place teams, baby. First-place teams. Locked On Marlins postcast. What can they do to get the mojo? Oh, behave, baby. Going again. Tell you in just a minute. Locked On Marlins postcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team. Every day. Locked On Marlins postcast is brought to you by... What time is it? What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. We love going to Major League Baseball games during the summer, don't we? Some of you might be in Atlanta right now, and I love those memories, right? The launching pad at Turner Field. I loved going up there with the 97 Marlins and beating the Braves. That year, man, the Braves were loaded. The Marlins were the wild card, and everybody thought the Braves were going to win. What other trips have I taken with the Marlins? I went to New York in 2003 when they beat the Yankees in the World Series. That would have been dope. That would have been dope to have Game Time at that point in time to get those tickets. Why? Because Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster, which makes getting tickets easier, which makes getting tickets guaranteed to be at the lowest possible price. They go down as you get closer to first pitch. Last-minute deals are killer. It's unbelievable, man. I would love to follow the Marlins to Atlanta, to Philly, to New York, all these great cities in their division. Last-minute tickets, flash zones, easy to find for any event, not just Major League Baseball, other sporting events, theater, comedy, music, you name it. And you get priority last-minute deals up to 60% off, flash deals. And you just got to pay attention. Bang, here's a deal. And you can set the alerts and you get them. Zone deals. Pick an area of the stadium. They pick the seat for you. All in pricing. You can see everything with no surprise fees at checkout. You get a view from your seat, panoramic, right in the app. You get the lowest price guarantee. If you find it cheaper anywhere else, 110% of the price refunded to you from Game Time. Should say credited. But Game Time's ticket coverage also gives you the most flexible customer service policies in the ticketing industry. So, you know what to do. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB, LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. That's Game Time. One more time, I want to thank you for making Locked On Marlins postcast your first listen today. Your second listen, how about you enjoy the Locked On MLB podcast with Paul Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully. He's here daily to provide you with national expertise with his trademark humor to help you get ready for the MLB playoffs here in the dog days of summer. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day on Locked On MLB, available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. And, of course, Locked On Marlins postcast after every Marlins game. Football coming up. The first game tonight. Got the Fins coming up, baby. Tua got paid. Made 80 mil. Tua got paid. Made 100 mil. Jimmy got paid 50 cents. I even got to laugh. I'm filthy, man. Straight to the bank with that's a ha. Tua got paid. And the Canes are looking good, too. Dolphins and Canes both looking good. There's a storm brewing in Coral Gables. And the Dolphins looking good, too. Could be the best football season in a long time for us here. And right here, Locked On Sports Miami. And wherever you get your podcast, we'll be here every day after those games, letting you know what's up. And that's going to be a busy time for us, too, because the Dolphins and the Canes are both looking good. And can't wait to work with the Locked On Canes, Locked On Dolphins shows. Heat after that. Shout out Bam Adebayo, ripping it up at the Olympics. LeBron, too, the former Heat star. So, yeah, there's that. And what a season it's been so far for the Marlins. Oh, man, just one of those where the last day of the year when everybody's getting ready to break and Skip Schumacher packs his bags. Man, there's never going to be a better vacation in his life. There's never going to be a better vacation in his life than the one he's about to take at the end of the season. But, there's a long time to go before that happens. A long time to go. Wrapping it up, Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. What's this team going to do? Who knows, man. 40-69, 18-35 on the road. And tomorrow they're going to do it again. Starts at 7:20 p.m. 8.5 the total, minus 125 on the over, plus 105 on the under. Might want to play that. Braves minus 275, Marlins minus 130. Undecided, and that's the Marlins undecided on their pitcher. And Spencer Schwellenbach will pitch for the Braves. He's 4-5 with 4.06 ERA. He's a Schwell guy. That was ridiculous, Jim. But Berger now leads the team in homers and RBIs. He's hitting .239 with 15 and 43. That explains everything you need to know right there with Sixto Sanchez, Braxton Garrett, Ryan Weathers, Jesus Luzardo still on the injured list. Not a way to spend the season. Tough year for the Miami Marlins overall, but they have won 3 of their last 5. Braves won 4 of their last 5. They've hit 20 home runs in their last 6 games, the Bravos have, and they are on fire as they chase the Phillies in the National League East and try to keep the Mets off their butts coming from behind. That's looking like the best record or the best race in baseball right now. The best race in baseball right now, I believe. The Orioles and the Yankees are a dead heat in the AL East, and that's dope. They are a dead heat right now. And you got the Red Sox 6.5 out. That division's dope, too. Royals playing ball. Bobby Witt Jr., hello. Astros are now tied for first with the Mariners. How about that? Astros started terrible, 24-12. Or 12-24, I can't remember. Phillies and Braves and Mets, we talked about that. 6 out, 8 out. Cardinals 5.5 behind the Brew Crews. Pirates just 6. Pods 4.5 behind the Dodgers. Won the season series already. And the Diamondbacks right there at 5 out. So these division races, the wild card races, Sully's going to have his hands full. So much to talk about with those, man. Locked On MLB. Check it out with Sully every day. It's going to be great the rest of the way. So many awesome races, so many division races, wild card races. The Marlins aren't any of them, but hey, how about this? Locked On the Marlins fire sale. Locked On which Marlins players who were fire sold are going to help those teams more. Will it be the 3 in San Diego? Luis Arraez, Tanner Scott, Brian Hoying. Will it be the 2 in Arizona? Josh Bell and A.J. Puck. That's 5 of the 10 right there. Will it be Brian De La Cruz in Pittsburgh? Will it be Trevor Rogers in Baltimore? Seattle got Chargois. Brazoban went to the Mets. Who am I missing? I'm missing one guy. How am I missing one guy? Did I miss? Nobody went to the Dodgers. Oh, Jazz Chisholm. How do you miss Jazz Chisholm going to the Yankees and hitting 90 home runs in his first 2 games? He played second. He played third. He's diving, catching line drives. He hit a home run with Aaron Judge's bat. That is Jazz Chisholm. You don't trade that guy, man. You don't trade Jazz Chisholm. You don't trade Tanner Scott. And you don't trade Luis Arraez. Trade all the rest of them. I don't care. They're interchangeable. But you do not trade cornerstones. Luis Arraez, best hitter in baseball. Don't trade him. Jazz Chisholm, young, fun, exuberant, hits for power, hits for average, runs the bases like a maniac, plays defense in 3 positions like a crazy person, and also DHs. You don't trade him. He keeps the clubhouse loose. You don't trade him. And you definitely don't trade Tanner Scott. You don't trade Scott. You don't trade Chisholm. And you don't trade Luis Arraez. And you gave the Padres 2 of those guys. You gave Ron Burgundy, you, San Diego. You know what I mean? They got 3 of them. So which team with the Marlins players who have been fire sold will do the best? Maybe that should be a segment in the show every day as the Marlins look to lose 162 games, which would be impossible because they've already actually won a couple. But don't tell them that. They have no idea. Anyway, it's tough because, petrified wood, they're not hitting the ball. They chase so many pitches out of the zone. If they would just learn, if I were the hitting coach, never mind, I'd just skip Schumacher. Take till you get a strike. No one on this team is allowed to swing at a pitch until there's 1 strike in the count. Not one play. Take them back to Babe Ruth. Take them back to high school ball when you're coaching. Hey, Grease, take till you get a strike. I always swung anyway. And Coach, I thought you meant when the pitch was a strike, I could swing. You know what I mean? No. Take till you get a strike. They flail at pitches. They fall behind in counts all the time, and you're at the mercy of the pitcher. That's why they don't ever walk. That's why they strike out so much. That's why they have so few extra base hits. And that's why they struggle so terribly and mightily with runners in scoring position, because they do not have any plate discipline. Their pitch selection is terrible. It's for the fish. You know what I'm saying? So there it is. That's the big reveal that I was giving you there on the hitting. But, day in and day out, they play hard. They have some good players. They got a lot back in those trades. We'll start to really monitor those players as they crack the lineup and start to make contributions. All is not lost. Look, Jazz Chisholm, Tanner Scott, and, of course, Luis Arraez, who's been gone for 2 months. Those are the 3 guys you don't trade. Everybody else, hey, you had your shot. You know what I'm saying? It didn't work out. And Luzardo or Weathers would have been the guys gone if they were healthy. It would have been one of those guys to the Orioles instead of Rogers had one of them even been healthy. So there you have it. 4-2 Braves win. 3 more games to go in the series. Undecided tomorrow for the Marlins. Spencer Schwellenbach, he's a Schwell guy, will pitch for the Braves, who got the Mets right behind them, and they're chasing the Phillies. What a race it's going to be in the National League East as the Marlins look up from the depths of the sea at the contenders. Anyway, get it? Marlins, depths of the sea? I don't know. We're running out of material. It's Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. That's all there is, Fish fans. There is no more. I love you, Jim Mandich, the Mad Dog. That's my tribute to one of my greatest mentors. Can't wait for the Dolphins. Peachy Keen, baby. Peachy Keen as football season comes, and we will be here every game. Dolphins, Hurricanes, Locked On with the POSTCAST. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Fish fans. We're back after the game tomorrow. Oh, baby. 7:20. First pitch right after the game. Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. We will see you then. Remember, they haven't lost a series since the break. They could still split this one. This team is still playing ball. We'll be following them here day by day on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every single day. And they are your Miami Marlins.